non-AP students, and it focused on the question, how can we encourage more students to take AP courses? Okay, so I think that AP courses are important because they do several things for us, especially in our senior year of high school. I think they allow us to challenge ourselves, which is important for things like preparing ourselves for college. So they help us prepare ourselves. And in my opinion, this is kind of a personal thing, but it helps us deal with our junior and senior years because I found that the longer I stayed here, the more weary I got of it, the more tired I got of it. I thought it was really monotonous. So starting this year, I took AP courses, and they challenged me a lot more. They forced me to become engaged. They forced me to pay attention. And without those, I think I kind of would have tuned out more than I think I have in my last year of high school here. So I am not a career AP student. I started my high school career taking only normal classes in my first and second year. You could probably chalk it up to laziness, but just not willing to challenge myself. But then once I got into my junior year, I started taking some honors courses, and I found that I enjoyed them a lot more than normal courses. A mixture of the environment that it created and how much it challenged me and what it made me do and the content and the teaching style of the teachers. And I really appreciated that. And so this year, I took 3 AP courses. It seems like a big shift from just taking a couple of honors courses and taking like 3 AP courses. But it wasn't that hard, I found, and I actually really enjoyed it. So I enjoyed those courses more than any of my other courses, and I feel like that's something important that I want to share with people, as well as like how I feel like it helps people, it prepares them, and it's just a positive experience for people. So on the fact that I'm not a career AP student, what I'm trying to answer is how can we encourage more students who aren't AP students to take that jump and become AP students, or at least consider the question. And I think the fact that I'm not a career AP student is important in that argument because it shows that I have the perspective of being in that situation of not being an AP student, but also that I'm somebody who made the jump and I challenged myself and I took AP courses. So here's my research, and I took kind of a unique approach to this because not only did I go online and I found professional research, and it's something some of you guys may have taken part in. I did my own research, my own survey, asking AP students about AP courses. And the statistics, here's some of the statistics that I found that I thought were really helpful and interesting. The first of which is that over 80% of AP students that I surveyed said that taking AP courses helped them somehow. There were a variety of different responses, like they were just more happy or they felt like it had prepared them for college better. I had one person who, and I thought this was really good, said that they felt more prepared to write essays and stuff, like from taking AP Lit. And I felt like that was really big because actually when I went to my MSU visit, there was a guy who presented who said most inbound college students lack an ability to write college level essays, and that's a big problem. So in that, it kind of gave me the idea that AP courses are a way to directly approach that issue and hopefully find a solution for them. This is probably the statistic I'm most proud of. The next one is that 1 in 4 AP students said that they took the courses just because they were fun and interesting. Now, given that you're targeting the students who aren't AP students, that they might be on the edge, or maybe they just don't know about AP courses, this statistic is really important. And this was actually the second largest pool of students. The reason why they took AP courses was just because they thought it'd be fun or interesting. So using this statistic, I can hopefully convince potential AP students that these are worth taking for reasons other than AP college credit or raising your GPA, but those were also significant pools. And this was just kind of a gratification thing for me that I wasn't unique in that a lot of the AP students that I surveyed, over 70%, said that more students should take AP courses based on the benefits that they provide and based on their experiences with it. It looks kind of like a word wall, but this is the professionals' research. I don't have to read word for word. But this top stat interested me in that students who took their AP exams, but they did poorly, they failed their AP exams, were still found to be more prepared for college than those who didn't take AP courses at all. So if these students are worried about not doing well in AP courses, maybe they care or don't care to take the AP exam, but even if they do poorly on them, this shows that they're still more likely to be prepared for the higher course load and the higher expectations of college. And this quote kind of summed up what I was looking for, in that if the AP program is truly college preparatory, AP experience should improve academic performance in college and increase the likelihood of returning for the second year of college. And that same study found that in fact, AP students of all groups surveyed had the highest freshman first semester GPA in college and retained at the highest rate. So retain is the term that they use for students who went to a first year of college, freshmen who came back for a second year. And the rate of retaining is, factors in that are supposed to be motivation, how well you did in your first year of college, and like how well you do academically, and things like your motivation are expected to be things that are influenced by taking AP courses and harder courses. So also looking ahead, more stuff that I found that said AP experience in AP courses was directly or indirectly related to 4 of 6 college admission factors. So I think one of them is literally like 4 or 5 down on the list is actually AP experience. And that also that the role of AP experience in college admissions is growing. That as time goes on, people are using things like AP experience because they need more factors as things start to become more competitive. They need to use more things to sort out who they're going to accept to their college. So the role of AP experience in gaining admission to colleges is increasing. I don't know how it's a little small up there, but so what I wanted to do is I wanted to create a graphic that I could put up just in the classrooms of professors who teach AP courses. So like Shenmore, Hicks, Brown, etc. They don't have to do it, but I'd like to ask them to do that. And I don't like to think of it as pressuring people, but I'm hoping that it's there as a resource if these students who maybe are normal students, or if they just happen to be in that classroom, they see this and it maybe prompts them to ask the question. And I've said that you can ask AP professors, counselors, maybe you can ask another AP student if they want more information. But I'm hoping that this influences them to at least ask the question. I had one person who suggested that maybe it was pressuring people, but I hope that people know that this is a question that they have to answer themselves as to whether or not they think this is for them. But I'm hoping to give them the information that they can't answer for themselves, questions that they can't answer for themselves. I expect them to come asking the question, can I handle this? But I'd like to provide the other information, like is this worth it? Is it interesting? Is it fun? And I think absolutely. If you think AP courses are for you, then I think you should take them because of the benefits that you provide. And that was literally it.
Questions or comments for Larry? Couple? Oh, come on now. All right. So, what did you find in your project to be the most challenging aspect of it?
Well, the execution more than anything else, but that's not really like a me thing. Just trying to. I'm gonna have to. I actually haven't done it yet because I still have to get the printing done. I wanted to do it Friday, and then I wanted to do it Tuesday, but I have to work with people in the graphics group, so I'm still working to get that done. But that was one of the issues, and then I'm gonna have to on my own time talk to the AP professors and get that circulated. But also, reading my survey results was kind of difficult for me because I did have some like some disagreeing opinions. And that was okay, and I actually thought that it gave me some good points to talk about in my presentation. But it was kind of like, it wasn't something I was expecting. I figured if somebody was going to take the survey that they were generally going to agree. But I don't know, it ended up being like constructive criticism, so that was good.
Go ahead.
How do you plan to get the information in your survey out there, other than the poster that's going to go up in already AP lit, or AP classrooms, where a majority of people see it, or already taking the AP class?
Well, the purpose wasn't for the AP students, like, to see it, because most of the professors who are teaching these AP courses also have normal courses. And then if these are normal students who are curious about it, maybe they, by word of mouth, or maybe they encourage somebody else to look at it, or, like, it's kind of, I didn't want to just post it around the school. I wanted to put it in a place where the AP professor would be easily accessible, to where they could expand upon, because it's a pretty basic graphic, where they could expand upon what I put in the graphic, and they could ask the professor directly, or just direct them to the counselor.
I thought one of the comments that you had in your presentation was interesting. The comment was, it may be pressuring people to take AP classes. I find that interesting because, I mean, should there be a pressure to try your best? Should there be a pressure to expand your sphere of knowledge? Should there be a pressure to be okay? And I think sometimes people look at like AP classes or even honors classes as like, well, that's what the smart kids do, or that's what the nerdy kids do, or whatever, you know. I think people are afraid to see what they're really capable of sometimes, especially if you haven't been along that track, you know, and made the leap like you did. I don't know if you could talk about that a little bit with your experience, because you did make the leap later on.
Yeah. Do you want my response?
Yes, please.
God, I really like what you said, but what I was trying to accomplish with that was it sounds like a sales pitch. That's because it is. I'm targeting students who are kind of on the fence, but it's trying to convince them that it's not just for smart people. It's for everyone, and the benefits that it provides. Like, you know, at our school at least, our best and brightest take AP courses, but you don't have to be in the top 25% of students at your school to take an AP course. Like, I had the statistic about even people who fail their AP exams, who maybe they aren't the best students, or maybe they just can't grasp the material as well as others, but it still has a benefit for them. And I like to think that there's kind of a system put in place for that it's worth like a grade level up, so if you get a C, it's basically worth a B in the way GPA works. So there's a built-in system to encourage students who might not be the best students to take those classes.
Great, thank you so much.